More than 60 world leaders have arrived in Germany for the annual Munich Security Conference, which is a key forum on global security policy. This year's summit is the first major international test for the new Trump administration, with expectations high on its stance toward NATO and European defense spending. Amid rising geopolitical tensions and ongoing conflicts, leaders will discuss pressing security threats and policy shifts. Deutsche Welle correspondent Emily Leshner reports from Berlin on what to expect from the high-stakes meeting.
How to achieve peace in Ukraine will be the top on the agenda, and that's to be expected. But this time the discussioning is happening right after U.S. President Donald Trump announced that he and Russian President Vladimir Putin planned to begin negotiations and bring an end to the war. This is news that really troubles Europe. Of course, the EU wants peace too, but they want the talks to be multilateral and to include NATO and Ukraine. Treating Moscow like a negotiating partner is a complete reversal from the Biden administration, and it highlights the unpredictability that comes with Trump's new administration. And that's very concerning to European leaders. So they're going to be using this meeting as a time to figure out how to band together and maintain a seat at the table, and how to best handle an increasingly erratic ally. Well, Trump wants NATO allies to commit 5% of their GDP to the NATO budget, but this would be pretty unrealistic for most countries, including the U.S., which gives a little over 3% of its GDP to NATO at the moment. And Germany, where I am, is struggling to give even the 2% that it's responsible for. Germany next week also has elections. It's looking like the leading candidate belongs to the Christian Democrats, which is a fiscally conservative party. So while they stand behind Ukraine, they're very unlikely willing to make a bigger contribution, and at Trump's request. Though there are some officials in NATO who say that EU allies should be doing more. And yes, Trump did threaten to pull out of NATO during his first administration. But this week, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said that the U.S. was still committed to NATO, though he also did say that the U.S. had bigger priorities, like securing its southern border with Mexico and dealing with China. Well, there are also going to be discussions on the ongoing conflicts in Gaza, Sudan, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Rwandan President Paul Kagame is reportedly going to be at the Munich conference. Now, Kagame has denied this, but Rwanda is backing the M23 rebel group that has captured the mineral-rich city of Goma in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And there have been calls from African leaders for a ceasefire, as well as for the opening of humanitarian corridors. So if Kagame is in attendance this year, we are likely to hear these same calls echoed in the halls of Munich as well.